I've just really, these places you've got to work, really. I've just been into, I've parked on the front of this building. And literally, I've been there less than 10 seconds, pulled up on the front, took the keys out of the ignition, went to get out my van. This guy comes up to the van. Sorry there, dear boy. Would you mind awfully moving your van to the back of the building? We don't allow tradesmen's vehicles on the front. It lets down the tone. Fuck, really. Why don't you go and... To be fair, it's a very nice block and I kind of get it, but it's, yeah. I have to do a quote here, I've just finished it. My word, what a beautiful place this is. So I've got a quote for it. It's changing the guy's got 140 downlights in his house. I wouldn't mind, it's not a house even, it's a flat, it's a 2-bed flat. 140 downlights and they're 12 volt, 50 watt, you know, the MR16 ones. So yeah, he's got a load of LED fittings here. He just wants them changed over. So Tom is currently down in Addersland. He's down there pulling some cables in. So I'm going to head down there now and we'll catch up with him and see what he's up to. Okay, so the next job is changing this oven. Close the door. Not so much noise for the client. Right, Tom is out in the van with the engine running because we haven't got any permits, but luckily this should only take 2 minutes. There were a lot of people that were asking about where do you get rid of your ovens and stuff and heavy bulky equipment. Well, you can either take it to the council tip, but obviously if you've got a commercial vehicle that's not so easy. So what I tend to do is take it to PC World. PC World offer, even if you haven't bought anything, they will recycle any electrical goods that you give them. Have a look on the website, because it is on there. So you just pull up outside your nearest PC World, take the oven in or leave it outside, and you haven't even got to buy anything. They will just recycle them for free. So it does make it a bit more bearable, but it's still a bastard of a job. Right, I'm going to throw the new oven in and we'll get back in the van. All right, that's this job done. Whew. Let's get to the next job. Fuck, that was an expensive shopping list.
Yeah, but they'll pay for itself.
Yeah, well, we can use that table at... I've got to sort this handbrake out, man.
Yeah, creaking and groaning that.
Yeah, it don't inspire confidence.
Yeah.
Okay, so cooker has now been installed. We are now at our next job over in Hampstead. Well, it was a 2-minute drive around the corner. And we're now fitting an intercom system. This job was one that came, it actually started in sort of November last year, and we've been trying to salvage the intercom and keep it working and stuff. And in the end, it was just more hassle than it was worth. And we literally we ended up ripping it out, and we've now ordered a new one. It's arrived and we're just fitting it in. So these here were the external handsets. So this is what will go on the outside of the building. So they just literally just press that and the lights illuminate, and there's your camera at the very top. But it's such a lovely little system, and that's the cage which it sits in on the outside of the front door, and that just literally bolts in there like that, and that's the end result. But it's a really dinky little system. There's such lovely little bits of kit. But anyway, I'll show you where it goes outside now. Now the old outdoor system, which was this one here, there were multiple reasons why we didn't just replace it with a like-for-like system. We just ended up going down this road because trying to source this exact system was a real pain. Trying to get the existing panel, which could fit in here, it was a non-starter. We just couldn't find one. Well, we could actually, but there was about an 8-week lead time on it. I'm just like, oh, sod that. So in the end, we went for this other system. But I don't want to remove this outer case because I think what will end up happening is if we pull this off, it's going to cause so much damage to the outside plasterwork. I think it's just not going to be worth it if the amount of damage it's going to cause to then refill it and skim it and stuff. So in the end, what we did is we've got a little bit of marine ply, which we're going to cut in there. We'll paint it in gloss, drill a little hole, and we'll just paint it white, same as this, just a matte white. And this will then just bolt straight into the middle of it like so. So it'll just give you, this outer casing will still be here, but you'll just have a white in just like this. So it'll be the same color, it'll just finish around like that. And we'll just put a little bit of silicone around the edges, and that'll just bolt in the middle, something like that. That's the plan anyway. I'll show you the internal door phone actually, because they're really smart. So these were the internal cameras that we ended up fitting. So sorry, not camera, the internal monitors. And they're just absolutely, they're lovely little bits of kit. They're so nicely put together. And it does make you realise how technology's come on, because me and Dave were having the same conversation yesterday when we removed the old system, the weight of it and the size of it. But they're just the most lovely little, just dinky little units. They're really nice. We crudely tested it earlier when we were doing the original, when we were just connecting them up and stuff, testing the existing Cat5 cabling, and they work brilliantly. They're just lovely little units. So yeah, we'll get on with this, and we'll report back in a bit. One of the other things that I was actually recently introduced to was one of these power supply control units, these modules. Now, one of the great things about these is that on normal intercom systems, like this one here actually, if you just use a normal 12-volt power supply to power the internal handsets and stuff, they generally haven't got enough juice in them to unlock the electronic lock. So one of the great alternatives is to use these, and they're fantastic little bits of kit. So you basically, this does all of it. It has the relay and the solenoid built into it, but it's also the transformer to power the intercom units upstairs. So you haven't got to have a separate transformer just for the door relay. Sorry, you haven't got to have a separate transformer just for the electronic lock and then the relay that goes with it and a timer to hold it open. You haven't got to have any of that. You just buy one of these. And you can buy these for about, I think I paid 31 quid or something for this. They're not that expensive. And they are such good bits of kit. I fitted loads of these. And they certainly seem, I've not had any callbacks on these yet. I've never heard of whatever they are. Never heard of them. But they certainly seem, they certainly seem quite reliable. I've not had any issues yet, but time will tell. But yeah, highly recommend them. Good bits of kit. Now what we had to do, because the old handsets were a lot bigger than the new handsets that we're putting in, I had to actually pick up a new workbench to do all this woodwork outside. I say woodwork, it's a bit of 4mm board. But we've had to cut this into the shapes upstairs, which I'll show you now. The only one which we can't use a hardboard on is this one here, because we had to use marine ply because it was outside. But I'll show you upstairs. So the old handset was recessed into this little cubby here, but this is the mounting plate for the new handset. But of course, we can't put that there because it just isn't going to fit. So what we've ended up doing is we've got that hardboard, and we've just cut out a square like that, spray painted it in just matte white, and it'll basically fit in that cubby just like that. And then we can just put a bit of filler around the very edges. The new panel goes on and it gives you a nice neat finish. In fact, I could show you the end result because Dave's just finished one down here now, which I shall show you. In fact, yeah, so that's the end result there. So this is the board which we've just put in, and he's just filled in around the very edges, and that's the new panel which sits on there. And so what we've done is we just used a bit of hot melt glue on the back of this board here just to hold it in, because we didn't want any screws on display. And then the little metal rig plate which you saw just screws straight on, and that's it. But I think it's a lovely finish. It was a really neat way, I thought, to get around the problem. So yeah, we're going to carry. We've got 2 more to go and fit. So as soon as we've done those, I'll report back. All right, so we're now finished. Well, Tom's actually upstairs just doing a final bit of caulking around one of the intercom units, but it's basically all done. So that was the end result. So that was the board, the marine ply which we were on about. Just put some white silicone. We were going to put black silicone, but it just looks much neater in white. So we put a bead of white silicone around the inside of it, and that's literally what you see. That's the end result. There's a couple of these systems. There's quite a few of them. If you Google them, there's loads of these different systems on the market. I fitted one of these exact systems here in a commercial block. It was a multi-story one, so it had the 5 different push buttons on the front. And I fitted that in a commercial block about, That's been about 3 years ago. Maybe even tapping on. No, not 4. 3 years ago, and that had the RFID swipe cards on it, where they can just walk up to it, swipe to let themselves in as well, and that works absolutely fine. That's been in there for about 3 years, and that gets heavy abuse every day. So it does go to show that, you know, even if you're not using, like, you know, the really official brands, you can actually still get really good equipment. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to cost you an absolute arm and a leg. I highly rate them. I think they're brilliant bits of kit. So anyway, we're going to test this out, get it all working. Tom's going to run up and down to each of the floors. We're just going to test it, make sure the lock release works, and then we'll pack up and we'll be out of here.
Floor, perfect.
All right.
Test.
Yeah, lock release works.
I can hear you perfectly as well.
Cool.
We'll go down to the next floor.
All right, mate.
All right.
That's the 4th floor done.
Bird's fine as well. Rings perfectly.
Okay.
Audio, video, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Right, door lock release.
Works fine. Yeah.
Lovely, I'll go on to the next floor.
Okay. That's the 3rd floor.
Good, door
Yeah.
lock release.
Hey, all 4.
All done.
Awesome. Your mic's out of battery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Finitoed.
All done. That didn't take long.
I think we did all right.
Yeah, we did all right. Definitely.
You got the keys.
This is now the rubber.
Yeah, just chuck it somewhere up there. We'll find room for it. Yeah, I know. Monday morning it'll still be.
Yeah.
It'll still be in there. All right.
There you are.
Awesome. Cheers. All right, everybody. That is our intercom here finished. So that's all up and running. So if you wish to subscribe to this channel, you'll be clicking right up here at the top.
If you want to check out the Patreon, it's going to be in the middle.
Watch another video somewhere here-ish.
And the comments, just pop them in down below.
That's near enough. All right. See you, everybody. See you later,
guys.
everybody. Bye.